Hello, my name is McCade Marshall, and I am presenting my final project for computer science. Now, why I chose to do blackjack as my final project is because it is something that I am familiar with. I have played it with family and friends for I don't know how long now, so I was familiar enough with the game and comfortable enough to think that I could take on implementing it into Python, as well as it fit the criteria for the final project. It is, at the end of the day, a game of chances and probability. With blackjack, you have to keep track of the different cards that have been played, and also at the same time, at the same time, run the chances in your head of what value card you think that you will be getting if you do hit in blackjack and you do hit for that next card. So there was a few different ways that I could have gone with this project, but I think I went with it in the easiest way for me. I don't have a great knowledge of coding, but I definitely will figure something out if I have to do it, and that's definitely what I did. And so at the beginning, I was thinking about all the different functions that I should use, and I was completely wrong. I definitely underestimated how many functions I had to use. For example, my win chips function, lose chips function, tie chips function. I thought that I could fit all of that into one function, which I probably could have, but it was definitely a lot easier, more efficient to put them into separate functions and not just sticking them all in one chips function. And another thing that I was thinking about doing was keeping the dealer, whenever the dealer draws its cards from the program, I was considering having that in the same loop the same function as the game loop function. I actually got pretty far with it until I realized that it was pretty much impossible for me to do that in an efficient way, so I just took all of that code out and made it its own function. Those were some problems that I had just mentioned. Those are some problems that I faced along the way, but some more problems that I faced was having to learn things that I maybe wasn't too familiar with. I have a history with coding. I took it in high school, and so I have a general idea, at least when I came to the class, I had a general idea of what to expect, but there were some things that I still didn't know, even from then. And one thing off the top of my head that I had to learn was the global function. I don't ever remember that being used previously, but I found it when looking online for ways to use values in between functions without having to call them in the parameters. And ultimately, the global call really made my code a lot more efficient. I think it made it run a lot more smoother whenever I did eventually find that. And then another problem that I faced was deciding between using a dictionary or a tuple for the cards. I bounced between using a dictionary and a tuple, but ultimately I ended up using a tuple, actually because I wasn't too familiar with it, and I did want to familiarize myself with it, and I think that I did a great job of doing that with this program, and I'm very happy that I stuck it out, because I'm generally know how dictionaries work at the basic level, but after reading into how tuples function, I was confident that I could easily make it work with my code. And that is what I decided to do. And as I mentioned before, when I had to take the dealer out of the game loop function, this is actually what this is right here. This function, the dealer draw function. This is the dealer draw function. And I had to completely just take it out of the game loop. And as you can see here, well, the reason that I had to take it out is because it was honestly making the game loop too long and too much for me to keep up with. So, and if I messed something up, then the whole function messed up. So putting this all into one function made it a lot easier for me. As you can see right here, this is turn 1, and then the same thing for turn 2, and then obviously turn 3 as well. And then it would move on and check for the tie chip, win chip, or lose chip functions, whichever outcome would have came from that hand. As for how it turned out, this is a picture of the console for PyCharm. I'm extremely happy with how this turned out. I honestly do not think that I'm the best coder in the world by any means, but seeing something like this turn out the way it did and so smoothly made me very happy with how it turned out, because if we take a look here at my code, or at least the console, I'll play 5 chips. I have a 7, dealer has a 19. Definitely have to hit on that. I have 16, the dealer still has 19, so I'll hit again. And I lost that round. Now I will play another round to see how it goes. Whoops. I'll play with 5 again. Dealer has 20, I have 12. Obviously, I have to try and catch up to that 20. I have 17. If I bust, or if I don't even hit a card here, then I'm losing anyways. So let's see what I get. I get 19. Let's hit one more time. I had 28. I got a 9. Let's play one more time. See how I'm able to do. Let's see if I win. I have 19. I will not do anything with that for all 3 turns. I win on that hand. So that was a demonstration of how the code turned out when you're actually playing it. And like I said, I am extremely happy with how it turned out. Honestly, I kind of surprised myself when it came time to really check the code and make sure that it was running well as I was nearing the end of this project. And seeing it run this cleanly was just a great thing to see. I even let a few of my friends play it on my computer, and they had a great time with it as well. So that kind of told me that it was, for what it is a good enough program. And ultimately that just, it felt really good being able to code something like this and then see it turn out how it did and have other people enjoy it as well. And what I learned along the way is definitely time management, having to balance all of the different parts of this project along with school and the other things going on that everybody else has going on with their lives. That was definitely a big part for me, because of course, like I said, I'm not a great coder by any means, and this really, really did help. It helped show me that if I don't know something and I have an obligation to make sure that it gets done, that I need to learn what it is and apply that immediately, not keep putting it off just because I'm not good at it. So that was a very important part to me, and that kind of bleeds into the second thing here. Learning new skills takes time, of course. Like I just said, yeah, new skills, and along with a bunch of other things going on, you have to sit down and take time to learn those things, and that's very important. So it made me realize that for this project and in the future, that if I don't know something and I am obligated to get it done, that I need to take time to learn those skills and make sure that I'm adequately equipped to take care of that project in a timely manner. And more class-centric for this last point, I gained a new appreciation for coding. I like I said, seeing this turn out well, it made me very happy, very satisfied, honestly, and I could see myself doing more with coding in the future. And that is my presentation. Thank you.